The president himself has said, and I reaffirm today, I am not the president's lawyer.
That's Attorney General Merrick Garland on Capitol Hill being grilled by Republicans over accusations there's a double standard in the DOJ. Joining me right now, a member of the House Judiciary Committee, Maryland Democratic Congressman Glenn Ivey. Good morning. Thank you for being here, Congressman.
Thanks for having me.
I'd love to get your take on all of this because so many times in the news, there is the reporting on what House Republicans are hoping to find, proof of an actual double standard. There were tense moments inside of that testimony where Garland, of course, was defending himself. Congressman Mike Johnson pressing him over the appointment of special counsel David Weiss, his name being thrown about. He's a Trump appointee. But do you believe that there is any truth to politicization between this particular branch of government?
Yeah, I mean, I thought yesterday's attempt to attack the Biden administration and Attorney General Garland for the Weiss appointment totally missed the mark. In fact, you had Republican Ken Buck, who's a member of the Freedom Caucus, by the way, point out that Weiss was a carryover from the Trump administration. If the Biden administration had fired him when they came in, Republicans would have accused him of trying to disrupt and delay the investigation into Hunter Biden. Then when he comes back with findings that they feel are insufficient, in part because there's no link between Hunter Biden's crimes and the president, then they attack Weiss and the attorney general. But as was pointed out yesterday, it is what it is. There's no evidence that there's any kind of sweetheart deal with Hunter Biden. And the fact that he's facing these charges, I think, makes that clear. So I think they, took a big swing and they got a big whiff with it yesterday.
But in terms of what Americans are viewing when they see all this played out, I mean, Hunter Biden's charges, the 3 gun charges, the tax charges, when you look at it on its face, and I know it's hard to do and take off that hat, that congressman hat, with all of the years of service you have, but can you understand why some Americans believe there's something fishy going on with the statute of limitations running out on Hunter's charges in some aspects, and then also President Biden changing the wording of some of his answers about what he knew or how much he knew about his son's business dealings? What do you say to the American people?
Well, let's see if we can walk through some of those. The issue about, whether Hunter Biden was engaged in misconduct with respect to his business deals. Please keep in mind that Bill Barr was the attorney general during, 2019, 2020. These issues date back to 2017, 2018. Bill Barr didn't reach any conclusions about criminal conduct by Hunter Biden during that time frame. And as far as the some of these statutes of limitations running, they could have moved forward with charges back then if they thought that they were there. And Weiss was the appointee at the time. Really, there's no evidence of misconduct there. The Republicans do a great job of blowing a lot of smoke about this stuff, but there doesn't seem to be any evidence to back up any misconduct by the prosecutors, much less anything that links President Biden to any kind of criminal conduct. And at the end of the day, the charges that Hunter Biden's facing, the freestanding gun charges by themselves, for example, I think somebody did a quick review and found that there are no similar cases in Delaware where these freestanding gun charges have been brought by themselves. Usually
Right.
They're connected to larger charges. And that certainly was my experience as a federal prosecutor and defense lawyer. So they'll keep pushing this stuff and blowing it up. And, part of it's going to take time for us to educate the public on the ins and outs of this stuff.
Yeah.
The bottom line is Hunter Biden's being prosecuted. He's facing criminal time if he's convicted, but nothing he did is linked to any kind of criminal conduct or high crimes or misdemeanors or even any kind of misconduct really on the part of President Biden.
Congressman Glenn Ivey, we appreciate you joining us. Hope you'll see us again here on Morning in America. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.